You've tuned into The Break Room, a weekly conversation about how the city of St. Augustine works, from those who do the work every day. Hosted by the City of St. Augustine's Communications Manager, Melissa Wissel, The Break Room offers a closer look at the city's programs and provides updates on current and upcoming projects. And now, your host for The Break Room, Melissa Wissel.
Welcome to The Break Room. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Melissa Wissel, Communications Manager for the City of St. Augustine. This week, joining me in the studio is Jim Piggott, Director of General Services. Everything from property management, facilities maintenance, managing the Visitor Information Center, and overseeing the maintenance and operations of the community pool at the Willie Gallimore Center. Jim, you're in charge of it all. Welcome to The Break Room.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jim, we opened the pool over Memorial Day weekend, as we do every year. But we have certainly seen some changes in how things look around the Gallimore Center and the pool this year. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Tell us how that was going.
Well, as you know, this was the first weekend that the pool was open this year. We opened on Friday. And by the way, this was the 7th year of the grand opening of the Gallimore pool. The number of patrons that used the pool wasn't up to its usual expectation level. In the past years, we had over 100. This year, over the Memorial Day weekend, we had 34 people use a pool, which was kind of to be expected. Right. Right now, there are a few changes to the pool. The maximum occupancy of the pool is 52. Okay. And we're following what the restaurant guide is. So right now, 50% of people in the restaurants, we're allowing 26 people in the pool. Okay. Which is about average, what's normally in the pool at one time. We have the chairs that are socially distanced. We have the restrooms and the ladders and the bars within the pool that people frequently touch. They're being wiped down frequently. People are being asked to use hand sanitizer. We have the sneeze guard protection between the YMCA folks that take the money and the people that come in either pay or show their annual pass. We have shut down the showers in the restrooms, but the restrooms are still open for the people to use. The picnic tables down there are spaced 10 feet apart. So we have quite a few things that are changed a little bit, but in the long run, it really hasn't changed too much. Right.
It's this COVID-19 coronavirus. It has really touched so many aspects of operations at the city. And some people, I've heard some comments of folks just sort of offhandedly, well, doesn't the bleach and the chlorine, not bleach, but doesn't the chlorine in the pool disinfect enough? But we really have to be careful and make sure that we're keeping everything clean, everything sanitized. So it does impact us.
And it sure does. We did find out, CDC did publish that you can't catch it in the pool, in an ocean. But that doesn't prevent a kid jumping on another kid and coughing in their face. Right. So we're trying to avoid any contact within a pool as well. Right. It is, for that aspect, a good thing that the pool, you can't get it in there unless someone's jumping on you or coughing on you. Right.
And if I come down with my family, I can sit close enough in my family unit, but as groups of people, of course, less than 10, but in those smaller group families, those are the chairs that are then distanced to keep the groups of folks separated.
Right. If you come down with your family, you can bring the chairs together so you're sitting together. And then when you get up and leave, we're putting the chairs back and we're disinfecting the chairs.
Okay. And tell me about the pool. You oversee that from General Services standpoint, but the pool has a really unique situation as to how it kind of came to be, our pool, if you will.
Yeah. 8 or 9 years ago, the pool was just looked like a pond, if you will. And there were literally frogs swimming around in it. And the Gallimore pool was supposed to be run by St. Johns County. Okay. They didn't want to invest any more money in it on an annual basis. So what they did is they gave us, I think it was $450,000, said you rebuild the pool, you maintain it, you operate it if you want, which is what we did. We built a brand new pool. And I said, this is the 7th year, and we're operating it. We have a contract with the YMCA. And I should say, so they're operating it for us. They're maintaining it 365 days a year. They're supplying the lifeguards when it's open. So they're providing all that assistance to us.
Are they running summer camps this summer?
There are no summer camp. Well, there is a YMCA summer camp
Okay.
at the Gallimore Center.
Okay.
Strictly run through YMCA. The city is just renting them the building. But there are going to be no summer camps using the pool this summer.
Okay.
That's
okay.
another little
Oh, by the
change,
way.
if you will. The reason is we have the 26-person count.
Right.
And if we get 2 or 3 camps, it's hard to tell one camp, you can't come in, or, hey, you have 28 people.
Right.
2 of your kids are going to have to sit out.
Right. Doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work that way. The YMCA manages all those programs. So if people want information about that, we do have all this information on the website, citysainaug.com, and they can call the YMCA if they've got questions about the camps.
Correct. And one thing that's another, I didn't know that. YMCA normally gives swim lessons down there.
Okay.
But because of the social distancing, they will not be doing, right now at least, any swim camps or how to teach kids lessons how to teach kids to swim.
Okay. So I can go down there and swim with my family. I can get in the pool, use the pool. Are the hours of operation a little bit different? I know it's all out on the website, but
they're the same as last year, pretty much.
Okay. So we can get down there 7 days a week.
And you could even go down there and lap swim in the morning if you want to lap swim.
Okay. So we just have to worry about just monitoring how many, that capacity is really the biggest issue.
Which I don't think is really an issue because that's about, we haven't really experienced that many more people in any previous time.
Okay. The location of the Gallimore, down there at the end of Riberia.
Eddie Vickers Park.
Okay.
Right there, and you can't miss it on the left-hand side, right by the baseball field. Most people know where that is.
Okay.
So
Great.
if you go down to the baseball field, you'll see the pool.
See where the pool is. Well, that's good to know. The Gallimore Center is also a facility that we usually operate as a venue for rent, birthday parties, retirements, activities. How are we doing on that right now? We're still impacted again with COVID restrictions, CDC guidelines?
Yes, we are. And Kim Mayo, who used to work in your division, she's the one that you would call if you want to rent the Gallimore Center. And she would make the appropriate contract and get the down payment and everything and book you. But right now it's a 10-person maximum.
Right. So are we able to take, I guess, name and number if people are looking for something, but really until that restriction is lifted from the governor's office, our hands are tied.
Right. And also remember, you have the YMCA camp there 5 days a week during the day.
Okay.
So it would only be available in the evening.
Okay.
If you have a party of 10 or less.
Okay. Good to know. So Gallimore Center, when we're under normal operating circumstances, is a great venue, great little place to have a party. In particular, the summertime, we want people to remember that there are people swimming, so you don't necessarily have access to that room as a rental during the day, but something to think about down the road when you're looking for a venue for a party. It's a really nice venue. It's pretty down there. There's a playground, park area.
It is. And one of the things that if you want to do as well, when the pool is not open, you can contact the YMCA, and they'll have a price for you per hour for the lifeguards, and they will come down and open a pool for you if you want to have a party of some sort.
Really?
7 years, no one's ever done that with the YMCA.
Nobody's ever had a pool party.
But that's always been there. It's an option if they ever want to do it.
That's a really cool idea. So I can have a pool party, but I don't have to have it in my own backyard. Go down there.
You could throw a pool party for the entire city of St. Augustine if you want to, Melissa.
Let's think about that for the next employee appreciation. How about that? We can get somebody in the dunking tank.
We might have more than 26 people in the pool, though.
True. We'll have to wait. You are listening to The Break Room here on Flagler College Radio. We have Jim Piggott with us in the studio today, General Services Director. Among the many divisions and areas of responsibility, we have been talking about the Gallimore Community Pool. Let's shift gears here a little bit and talk about another facility that you oversee, and that is the Visitor Information Center, which, again, was a little bit of a casualty there for a bit during COVID. Give us an update, if you would, on how things are going down there since we've reopened.
Well, as you know, when we shut down the VIC and canceled all the other events on the events field and everything, we had 18 employees. We're like, what are we going to do with these employees? Send them home without pay? We wanted to give them the option to still work. So we were able to spread them out throughout the city. We had 1 or 2 people at the city marina. We had 2 people at the fleet warehouse area. We had a couple of people working in the VIC cleaning up, and we had a few other people around town doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
So they were utilized. If they wanted to work, we didn't force them out. They came in, they volunteered, and they went to work, and they did a great job. If you're ever going into VIC, I think you're going to notice it's a lot cleaner.
It's beautiful.
Not saying it was dirty before, but when you have all that time in your hands, like if you're sitting home by yourself, you clean out your pantry, you clean out, your garage, you clean out, one of your living rooms or whatever. And they, from top to bottom, inside and out, they just cleaned everything out.
Got into all those nooks and crannies.
They did.
We do have some pictures that we've posted on our social media. They did a tremendous job cleaning up the bathrooms, the inside, the outside. I know the whole facility was power washed.
Yes.
And when we reopened, we, again, with the CDC guidelines, we've had to implement some change in how people can come in and come out. Anything that we need to really be aware of? How's that going?
Well, it's going great.
Good.
Since last Saturday through Monday, we had 1,024 visitors go into the VIC.
Okay.
I came down on Sunday, and the place was packed.
Okay.
We can only have 129 people in the building itself.
Okay.
And then when you get into the gift shop, you can only have 12.
Okay.
So, and by the way, in the gift shop, we're also selling masks.
Great.
And we sold so far 1,200 masks.
Terrific.
To different folks coming in. Which is a good number, and we're selling in boxes of 50.
Okay.
And shortly, we're going to have individually wrapped masks, too, for sale for the consumer.
Great. And the masks has been a real push for the city, in addition to, I should say, with the city helping to provide all those masks in large quantities for the businesses. Now we're able to distribute them through the VIC. Any commentary or feedback coming back from either our staff or downtown about people's willingness to wear them? It's really been tough.
It's really been tough. Like I said, I was down here on Sunday, and you can count on two hands how many people I saw wearing a mask.
Right.
And if I went into the VIC, well, then everyone's wearing a mask, all the city employees. But we really need to, stress that, hey, when you're inside that 6-foot radius, you should have a mask on.
Right.
Not just protect yourself, but protect the person next to you. The elderly or whatever.
And we want to be open. We want to be able to have visitors come, but gosh, we sure don't want people getting sick so that we have to shut down again.
Right.
Have you seen any need for the line outside the VIC? I noticed when I was down there with you a couple weeks ago, it's very clearly marked on the sidewalk there, the blue tape and lines inside. So it's great to see very clearly defined spaces of what we want our consumers to follow those guidelines.
Right. We have a counter at the door, and I guess you can say, unfortunately, we haven't been able to use those lines yet.
Okay.
We haven't been close to 129 people in that building at one time. So I'm challenging all the tourists. Come on down.
All right. That's all right.
Push us out there and make us use those lines.
That's all right. Well, Jim, it sounds like things are really keeping pace for you in general services. You have a lot to oversee, keeping the city running smoothly, keeping the city clean, and we appreciate everything that you and all of your staff does.
Thank you very much.
If you missed part of this broadcast, or you want to hear it from the beginning, and if you want to hear any past interviews, be sure to visit us on the web at citysainagradio.com. As we wrap up another edition of The Break Room, I hope we answered your questions. If we didn't, take a minute to drop an email. That's info@citysainaug.com. Let me know what we missed and if there's someone you would like to hear from. We want to keep you informed about what's happening in and around the city, and most importantly, that you hear it here from the people doing the work and making it happen every day. Remember that in order to stay connected, you need to be connected. Like us and follow us on any of our social media platforms. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City St. Aug. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
You've been listening to The Break Room, a weekly program about projects and programs offered by the City of St. Augustine. We hope you'll join us each week as host Melissa Whistle and her guests have a conversation that helps you better understand how our city works to meet the needs of our community. See you next time on The Break Room.